3rd and 15, and I know I got this corner route.
And you ain't done it all season.
And see, that's
Let me get back into my Coach Cole's.
Because sometimes you got these young coaches, man. They come with the zip zam zoop zoop. Hey, it's tough. Bruce could do that. His mind operated like that. It's only one Bruce Eugene.
He was taking a snap.
Yes, sir. It's only.
Hey man, you got that corner route. Don't just run straight to the corner.
Sure.
I need you to do something, and I'm gonna put it there.
Right.
But if you've never understood the safety leverage, or what could possibly happen with the corner falling off, and how you need to make that move, this is the dice game.
Coach Cole. He knows when he played against us, every receiver we've had can line up outside, and they can also line up in the slot.
Yeah.
So for us, that was mandatory. It wouldn't you wouldn't just learn up. Hey, I'm a X receiver, or I'm a Z receiver. It was I'm a wide receiver, so I need to know everything. So we moved them around like a Tremont Douglas. Coach he broke the record when Nunnally from FAMU had the record for receiving. Tremont broke it, and guess what we did with Tremont? We had to move them around. Then we had Thyron. Then we had all the rest of them. So that's what I'm saying. Like that has to be something during the season that even if you don't use it, it has to be in the bag that when I need to pull it out.
Well, Campbell, that was another FAMU jab. I don't know if that was pointed at you.
That's okay.
Okay.
Well,
Have you seen something you can exploit in the Prairie View #1 ranked passing defense?
I see something in every defense I can exploit. That's just the quarterback in me.
Well, one of the things going in the championship game, the games that I've been in, I've been in championship games in Ohio Valley Conference against Murray State. Of course, we went in the game with Grambling, and I've won in the game with Alabama State. The thing about a coach is the girl you took to the prom, that's the girl you dance with. You don't get in there and then push her to the side and go get you another dancer. I just think the less mistakes you make, to make sure everything is familiar. Even talking to Coach Jackson, they came in town on Tuesday, so his biggest thing with the football team is make it normal. What time we eat in the morning, what time they eat breakfast, breakfast, lunch, and what time they practice. And they wanted to keep everything, even when lights were out. They wanted to make sure that everything was familiar and what you're seeing. And I think that those teams that can keep that tight and know that this is what we're doing, this is what got us here, that's the way that I like to take my team and not come with something new or putting somebody in a position that they're not accustomed to.
Well, let me ask you this. In all your wisdom, coming into a game like this and the kind of coattail, even though I feel like I shut Coach Eugene down with that, but to coattail, you want to have something different, right? Coming into this game. Maybe moving your 1,000-yard receiver inside, but as a head coach, somebody that's done it, somebody that's been in this game, how much time in 3 days do you have to spend on that to make sure they're comfortable in that? That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's no question. We got a youngster down here, Craig, and he kind of remind me of myself. You know what I mean? But I people don't have the mindset that he has. That's why we're pushing so hard that and he's right. That's the part of the offense that you have all year. You know what I mean? I can remember a time that we would work on trick plays, Bruce, every day. We didn't call them trick plays. We call them plays. So every day that we would work on them, I'm telling you, we went all the way. And we got to the last game, which was the championship game. And I can remember Michael Thompson, who got drafted in the 3rd round, Atlanta Falcons, a left tackle. He said, Coach, why we work on these plays? We don't never run them in the game. Now, we ran one against you. We ran the triple reverse. We played Murray State, Coach. Look, I ran every trick play that we had, and all of them scored, Coach. Our quarterback threw for 5 touchdowns, and we had a play where he actually went out for a pass, and he would have caught one himself. So I see where young OC down there, he is. but I don't think knowing Chennis Berry, you know, and me and Chennis met with Chicago Bears. We was there with one of those NFL opportunities. You know, Chennis is an O-line guy. You know, O-line guys but he can throw it too now. Now he know how to throw the ball too. I don't see him doing that. I see him coming into a game. I see him making sure that everybody is on cue. You know, from the way they dress, the way they show up, and win the day. I don't see him doing that or putting some type of wrinkle in there, because it's tough taking a kid, I think, that ain't never done it and then put him in the backfield and motion and all that kind of thing. I don't see that happening. But hey, Bruce, you know, maybe we'll see that.
But wait a minute, Coach. I think what a lot of people want to know, because I researched this and I want to talk about this. So you got Michael Luntz, first team All-MEAC, second in conference sacks. You got this running mate Barker, second team All-Conference. So Bruce, when you got two All-Conference defensive linemen, what do you think and what do you expect of Prairie View offensive line, especially when a guy that's coming for the quarterback like that, like Luntz?
Well, it all depends on how much you respect them. You know, that's like I played against Robert Mathis, and we blocked them one-on-one. You know, we took the running back sometimes and chipped them, but a lot of times our left tackle walked into the game and say, yo, coach, don't help me. So when you got a confident left tackle like that, you know, you got to trust him and believe in him and, you know, do as he said. Now, if he starts to get beat, then you got to, you know, like you say, everybody got a plan until they get punched. You know what I'm saying?
and let me say something about all conference, and Bruce know this. You know, just like we had Cam Beaters that didn't make second team quarterback.
Yeah.
And he threw 1,000 yards more than Jacoby. Not just saying that Jacoby is slow, because we all know he's a great quarterback as well. But sometimes politics get into the all conference. Let me vote on this guy because I want my guy. And that's the behind the scenes stuff, Bishop, that you don't know, is let me vote on this guy and I'll make a phone call and you vote on that guy because I need my guy in there. My guy played. And a lot of it's opinionated and a lot of it's slick. They New York City, you know. So, you know, is all conference have some of the best players there? Yes. But sometimes a kid will slide in there that had no business being in there.
But Coach, I got to ask you a question though. 8.5 sacks, didn't nobody vote for that. Those are plays that were made on the field. So we got to give him his respect and to being a playmaker. And again, if you saw, and I keep pointing out the two biggest games that they played against Central and they played against Delaware State, that kid was everywhere. That kid was everywhere.
Here's what I see. I see them giving up 150 yards rushing. And if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm saying, oh, you giving me 150? Well, if you give me 150, I'm going to play action and I'm going to make something happen. You giving up 211 yards passing? Well, shoot, I'm sending everybody out because I don't see that guy. I give him 1 sack a game. I just, you know, the numbers just don't speak that way. But, you know, we're just talking. You know, when you get in the game and things happen. And that's one thing about an HBCU, guys, because you guys know I coached in Ohio Valley Conference and I've coached against the PWIs. You know, what you see is what you get. But, you know, in the SWAC and in the MEAC, I mean, you might have a guy be like, man, where this guy come from? You know what I mean? So, you know, they're going to need that tomorrow.
But wait a minute, and I want you guys to answer this. They played a tough FCS leading rushing Delaware State. And they put them in the box, Coach. So does that not prepare you for a game like this, Bruce?
It definitely prepares you, but each game is different. You know what I'm saying? Like each game is different. Like you can see that and it could be like everybody had an off day, you know, or you know, today we wasn't locked in. You know how it is. These days, these kids, their mind be everywhere. You know, you got to try to keep them locked in as much as possible. But if I'm Prairie, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that game and I'm like, okay, if you gave up this, let's see what they did so we can see how we can take a little of that and sprinkle it into what we do.
Yeah. And my understanding, Rocky, my man behind, they gave up 424, wasn't it? They gave up 424 yards to them. And the thing about Delaware State, and I'm afraid you know, and I'm going to give you this, Mike, they were just one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And everybody, once the big teams knew, the only team that didn't know was North Carolina Central. And me and Trey Oliver talked about that. He didn't make them one-dimensional, but Morgan State made them one-dimensional and had them beat.
And had them beat. They had them on the ropes.
State and missed the field goal.
Had them on the ropes.
Here's what you think.
And here's where it goes back to that 863 bias, that Florida boy bias. Coach O'Dowd for the DC. All right, he did what he had to do to win that game, right? Okay. But we all know what Dale State and Coach Jackson did, right, to win games.
Yeah.
Right. We understand that kid was probably the best kid in HBCU football. All right. You knew he was going to get the ball. You couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
But Bishop, I'm going to give you one more crushing number from my statistician.
I love it.
All right. And this is going to put to rest what my OG said and what Coach Eugene said, right? When we talking about JB, he ranks number 2 nationally with 38 pressures among FCS football. That means he's in the backfield more than anybody else except for one person. Now, your tackle can have all the confidence in the world, but when that thing say hut, and he come off that edge, that's telling me he is getting the job done at a high rate. And now what?
And guess what I'm thinking? If I'm Prairie View and we getting ready to play them, Coach, I got him. You're going to have to show me on Saturday at 12 noon. You did that versus all those other teams. Saturday at 12 noon, let's see if you can do it against us. So that has to be the mindset. If you go in there, oh, my God, I got him over here and everything else, then you're going to play scared. Saturday at 12 o'clock, all those pressures and hurries and everything else, you're going to have to show that again on Saturday, because now if you don't, then how you going to get them free? Do you change it up, and now instead of him being that end, do I put him as a 3-tech and create that one-on-one?
No. I don't think you do.
But I'm just saying, this is just like a wrinkle in case he's not having.
I want to say just one thing. Y'all all can respond to this. In a high leverage game, the last high leverage game that South Carolina State played, they gave up 439 yards rushing. they got 4 turnovers by way of interception.
Yeah.
Can they depend on giving up 400 yards and then getting 4 interceptions to pull out a game?
Not against.
I'll ask you from the back.
Mike.
I'll ask you from the mic. What did they give up total? You see what I'm saying? So I got to make you one-dimensional. That's fine. But we know football, all DCs hate what? They don't want that ball ran against them, right?
No,
so we're going to fix that.
It's a pride thing.
We're going to turn that off.
If I can run 400 yards a game, I ain't never throwing the ball.
But if I get up,
Army, Navy.
I think he might not know, but we know, right? Back in the day, if Nebraska went down 14, we don't care what you run that option for. You can't catch up.
Oh, we know this.
Now we all got to make sure we don't turn it over. Just keep the car in the middle of the road. Nebraska's never catching up. Dale State, you can run him as long as you want to, as long as we're not turning it over and we keep it in the middle of the road. The other thing I want to bring up, that championship game, and I'm going to turn it to my guy that's driving the bus for PV, my OG. He's driving the bus.
I'm trying to help South Carolina State out.
Coach driving the bus. How many times did they turn that thing over and got lucky? And he is a coach. He knows you can't turn it over in championship games and expect to win. But how many times they turn it over? I'm going to give him the mic.
Coach, before you answer that, and it's crazy, I wanted to address that during the game. The touchdown pass that was thrown against PV was luck. It should have been picked. So, again, I'm with you now. I'm with you. We here. I'm going to save my prediction for later, though.
I just want to make sure. The bus driver. I want the bus driver to account for that because he knows as a coach, you can't turn it over and expect to win a championship game.
Not at all.
Well, without a doubt, and I think that's why Prairie View A&M has done the things that they've done. They've been solid all year. You know, they've been a great team in the red zone. this is the first game. If you look at the stats, that was the first game that they really didn't get an opportunity, take advantage of the opportunity and score in the red zone. Anytime that you do that, it causes issues. But they're so good on defense. Nobody has figured their defense out. And I've seen them all 12 games and some, and been able to sit down with the coach and watch film together. And I know, the coaching staff, I got a chance to spend the summertime with them, that they make great adjustments. They make great adjustments. But I know that it's important that when you get in the red zone, that you got to take advantage, because, but before that Jackson State game, they were about 85, 86% of scoring every time they got into the red zone. And for the audience that don't know what the red zone is it 20 and in? Some people say it's 25 and in, but when they get in 25,
it's 20 and in.
That's right. That's old school football. But once again, you can't count South Carolina State out. I don't want to be so one-sided, but we're talking. But they've been there 3 times, right? Chennis Berry is a winning coach. He come from Benedict, where he had 2 back-to-back winning seasons. I think he lost 1 game in 2 years. Then he went on to South Carolina State and win. I hate to, y'all know how I am on that. It ain't what it looks like. It's what it is. And I just think that Prairie View A&M is what it is. We stand up here and we put all the Christmas tree, and if it ain't no gifts under there, that's a dead Christmas tree to me.
Now, see, I got a lot of my South Carolina, my man Blue Jay is in there. He's saying, Mr. Campbell, listen, keep fighting for us. But see, I'm going to tell you something, Bruce, and Coach talked about it, but I think this is important. Chennis Berry and this team is coming back. You know what it's like to be back to back to back, actually. So talk about how much, again, and I want to say this. Tremaine Jackson, great coach. Prairie View hasn't been in this place before. This is totally new. And I'm talking about the fans. I'm talking about the school.
You talking about my folk out here.
I'm happy they're here. But listen, Coach, South Carolina State and Bruce, you gonna understand?
Hey, some of their mamas see back in the 60s when Prairie View was in any kind of championship.
Listen, but Bruce, I think is important. I think this is an advantage South Carolina State has. These guys, and first of all, they want to have redemption. They did not have a great game against Jackson State. Only scored 7 points. Talk about the experience of being here before.
So I addressed that earlier when Coach Cole was talking about Tremaine Jackson and everything else. And I told him the fact that Chennis has been here and that team, that's not the same team from last year, but it's a lot of returning players. So they still have that bad taste in their mouth from losing last year. So that's been their driving force this year to get back there to change the outcome. Now, Coach say, Coach Jackson brought in some guy from Valdosta, and all that's great and fine. But they've never been in that Mercedes-Benz Stadium under those lights. They've never been in the SWAC. They wasn't in the SWAC championship game for the first time, and they did a great job there. But now, like you said, the Celebration Bowl, all those lights and people, the bands and everything. And like our coach used to say, the band's going and cheerleaders and the dancers and everything else. Guess what? You get on that field, you start to look around, you forget there's a football game that needs to be played.
We know the quarterback acting is pretty much a drop back.
Yeah.
I've always liked Stubblefield,
the backup.
He's more of a dual.
He's athletic.
Could you use some of the attributes of Stubblefield to attack some of the things that Prairie View may give you a defense?
And see, that's what I mentioned. That's why I made the comment about the starter Atkins gonna have to run a little bit. He's gonna have to take off, because when Stubblefield comes to the game, you already know it's gonna be some type of movement type action, whether they're moving the pocket, whether they're quarterback draw or something like that. But when Atkins is in the game, you expect them to drop back every time. So that's why I said they're gonna have to do those type of things, whether it's one to two quarterback runs. You're not looking to get anything big from it. All you're looking to do is just keep the defense honest, just to make sure you respect that part of his game. But other than that, like Coach say, who you rooting for?
Well, one of the things that they failed to realize too, he brought 7 of his staff members on that Valdosta staff. So everybody, as far as the coaches are concerned, have been here before. You know, I want to send a shout out, you know, to our Prairie View A&M backers. They came in from Houston. That, you know, I tell them when I first came to Texas Southern, man, that was the first thing I was taught. You know, look, we don't lose to that team up, and I've told Athletic Golf, the AD Golf, and Tremaine, I said, man, look, let me go get me a Texas Southern T-shirt, and I'll put on one of those Prairie View tops, because you know it can't touch my heart. But I'm rooting for them. You know, we swag. You know what I mean? We swag, and I know we don't have no South Carolina State representative, but besides this guy here, you tell us you went back-to-back, right, with Alcorn State to the national championship game to play North Carolina A&T. How you feel about the back-to-back? Was it important? But did y'all win or y'all lost back-to-back as well?
We lost back-to-back, but those A&T teams were different, right? Yeah. They were different. And, you know, I can say that first one we lost because when we won that first one, Coach, I'm going to tell you, when we won that first one, I think our kids took their foot off the gas because we won the SWAC championship. This was just added. This was extra. You know what I mean? I don't think they really understood it. That second one we lost, that was just a better team. You know, Coach Washington had those guys rolling at the height. I think they beat Duke that year or East Carolina or something like that. He's got a famous meme where he's like,
bring my money.
You know what I mean? We ran into a buzzsaw that year. You know what I mean? But we still competed at a high level. The thing that I think Coach Jackson has probably had to guard against the most was that, hey, SWAC championship, we had a great time in Jackson, but we're not done, right? Was that message sent all the way through the team, through all 85 of those kids? Are they really understanding that we got one more to go? Or are they really like, man, we won the SWAC, we good. This is added.
Is there a player in this game that tips the scale to what one team or the other?
That's what
I'm glad you asked.
I want to hear this.
I got stats, right? I came prepared. Mr. Campbell said we doing this live show.
Numbers guy.
I wanted to make sure I was on point because I knew I was going to be sitting next to the OG, and I had to be on point, right?
No stats, but MEAC stats. I'm about to take my swag away from you.
So the MEAC part comes from, like I said, Coach Odaf or Coach Styles. I coach those guys. They Florida guys. They Polk County guys. Absolutely. I feel like I raised those guys, right? The cornerback, J-Dub, has one of the highest forced incompletion rates in all of college football.
This South Carolina.
South Carolina State, right? 28%. All right. Less than 40% reception rate when he is the primary defender, which meaning is, Mr. Rock, if I'm following this 1,000-yard guy, PV guy, wherever he go, right, left, it ain't nothing but a dice game. Now, where you going with it? And that's why I feel like that is the difference in this game, and this is why I'm riding with my guys from the 863, right? Because at the end of the day, if you can take away the one thing that they know they can get, when they got in trouble, what did they do? Backed up, threw it deep. He made the play they needed to make when the momentum was starting to swing to those people up the street, right? He made the play, made it look easy. Now, if I'm erasing him, where you going? And we make him look one-dimensional. So that's why I say at the end of the day, if Coach O gets his guy to travel with their guy, now whose game plan is going to be more flexible to what we're doing in the moment? Because right now it's one and done, and we got to make it happen right now.
All that sounds good, right? All that sounds good. They got all these numbers, and it's 40% less here, and all this and everything else. But that was against the MEAC. It wasn't us. So if I'm Jackson, I'm saying he can. All them numbers matter versus MEAC guys. They haven't played us. So mindset wise, that's what's Jackson driving in their head right now. I'm saying Coach Jackson. I'm saying Jackson, but That's what he's driving into his guys' heads. That ain't us. They didn't play us. They don't know us. They gonna feel us come Saturday. So that's what he's driving in his head. All those are great numbers now. Like, I commend the young man, 40% traveling this way and everything else. But guess what? They never played us. Because that was our mindset every time we play. Everybody give us all these numbers. And everybody, that number, like you say, 30% travel this away and that, all that changed when he played against us. Everything went up. So that's what they're thinking right now. Coach Jackson is driving into all the PV guys' head. They never played us. They never seen us.
I'd like to take this time also to introduce one of my former players, Coach James Williams. He's the secondary coach at Kennesaw State, who just won the conference championship.
I was saying, congrats, Coach.
Yeah, they just won the conference.
I was watching now.
And you know.
We're gonna give him a question.
Yeah. And
he was a swag. He was in the swag. He was in the swag last year.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, James played in the swag. He played at Texas Southern, and he also coached at Alabama State. He's brought all them. He's put, 2 or 3, 4 players in the NFL as a secondary coach. Man, I can't say enough about him.
He got some dudes.
We want to kind of turn it over a little bit to our fans that would like to ask questions.
Hold on.
To give him the mic. Okay. Hold on.
Okay. So I am from Prairie View, A&M, but I graduated from the MEAC Howard University.
Okay.
HU. But my question, I don't know if I came late on the game. What is your prediction about the game, as far as what
who would win or who would?
Yeah, and why? And who's favored, and why do you favor them? And because I know last week, a lot of people were favoring Jackson State for whatever reason, and so I just want to know, why would you favor it? So I know I hear a lot about South Carolina State, and you thinking they might be ahead of Prairie View, and Prairie View might be the underdog. So I'm just trying to figure out who and why.
You calling Vegas? You gonna make some bets?
No.
All right, here you go. We go with Coach Fred.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna go, and I'm glad you brought it up because Bishop brought it up earlier. Why am I calling you Bishop?
That's what I got.
That's how you look. You see how you look.
My guy, Mr. Campbell, brought it up. Right now, over there in the Omni, on the West and the East, there's 2 totally different game speeches being given right now, right? One is talking about because we've been here, and the other one is talking about because we wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So to me, the people that have been here, that speech is going to resonate more. And it's going to resonate more because the last time we was here, we got embarrassed. And that ain't what we about. We got a brand, these new Jacks on the city, on the corner. We got to make sure they understand what they've stepped into. And I'm saying my guys from Polk County who now work at South Carolina State, the A63 boys, on the defensive side of the ball, understand what they need to do. That's take away that 1,000-yard guy, and that's take away the extra hat, meaning we're going to have to sell out, and we're going to count on our secondary. And I just think the secondary for South Carolina State will hold up more than the number 2, number 3, and number 4 receiver for Prairie View. And South Carolina State's been here. They understand what it is to run out that tunnel. They understand what it is when that bus pulls under. Coach Eugene, that's a different experience for a kid that's never been there.
Mm-hmm.
To pull under that stadium.
Pulling them tunnels and you get off.
And you get off, and it's a totally different experience. Those kids have been there before. They understand what it is. That's why I give South Carolina State the nod in this game.
Okay.
Get the hotel manager for we can walk him out to his car because I think they're gonna get him. Go ahead, Coach Eugene.
Well, for me, Coach, I like all your numbers in South Carolina State, and you're right. They've been here. Those are the guys. Those are the guys that know everything about. They know the dimensions of the stadium. They know about the tunnels and the pregame this and how it's going to look. But I'm going with the hungry guys, Coach. I got to go with the hungry guys. One, because they're in the SWAC. And two, like I said, with Coach Jackson, I've watched Coach Jackson grow in this thing. I watched Coach Jackson from when I was playing. And then after I finished playing, he got into coaching when he was on coach's staff. And, you know, he had my guy, Melvin Spears, and everything over there. So I used to talk to Coach Jackson a lot, even afterwards when he went to the school out in Arizona, Colorado Mesa, when we kept in touch there. When he went to Valdosta, we kept in touch there. So Coach has done some great things. Like you say, he brought the coaches with him and everything else. And I think he got his guys hungry. And again, when you got the whole conference on your back the way they do, you know, they'll be ready to go. You know, I like Jonathan. He's a Grambling guy, the office coordinator at South Carolina State, but through and through, I'm SWAC all day. So I'm riding with Prairie View to win this thing. And I'm like, Coach, once they get the lock on you, it might be big. It might be big, Coach. So, Coach, your boys in Florida can only hold it down for so long. It might be big.
Well, look, hey, I'm bringing in the reason why I think Prairie View will win. We're gonna put the pressure on the father, not the son. This is Cam Newton Peters, the senior. Hey, look, if the quarterback don't play well, blame it on him, not the son. But man, we glad you came. We glad you here. You know, it's sensational for your son to go through those years at Prairie View and really not be successful, not just individually, but as a team. And, you know, new staff coming in. I know you had some father and son because you actually played the game as well. And I know me and you talked off the camera about your son and where he's at. And I kind of, you know, knew how Coach Jackson was going to come in. You know, he's going to come in with a new attitude, a new way to do things. How have you and your son handled that? And just how you feel about your son up to today?
Put the mic close to you.
Like I told you before, it was an experience going through it, but just mainly just kept him positive and just told him to be a good teammate. Don't pout, because I went through that at OU and I handled it wrong. And so I've coached AAU, Little League, and high school football, and part of the reason I coached because I didn't want kids to make the mistakes I made, and that was true in my house. And so, you know, the things he's gone through, you know, just try to keep him positive.
I had a chance to talk to him today, and he said, you still think you know more football than him. And he said, Coach, I play quarterback. My daddy don't know nothing about those coverages and routes. He just know how to go sack the quarterback.
Well, no, I give him his props on that. It was about maybe he was like 10th grade, I think, and we were doing the 7-on-7 tournaments and stuff, and I ran into my teammate Charles Thompson at OU, and he does a lot of camps, and so he was telling Cam, now I'm gonna send you some paperwork because he does like classroom sessions at his camps, and so he sent Cam this one. I think they were still faxing stuff, so he sent the test to Cameron, and then so they started talking about it, and I started hearing cover 6 and above the shelf and this and another. I'm like, man, I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing. I know 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 coverage. That's it. Other than that, y'all, you know. So as far as his acumen, his football IQ, yeah, it's better than mine, and he's probably a better athlete than I was. But yeah, I'm proud of him, man. You already know. I give him his props, you know, for what he's done. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game tomorrow.
Well, first,
Bruce Eugene as coach.
how you doing? So, first of all, I want to commend you and say congrats to the success your son's having. Like the comment you made, as a dad, when you have a son that get into it, you don't want him to make the same mistakes that you made. That's why I moved to Georgia so I can coach my son to make sure he don't make those same mistakes. Tonight, you know, big game tomorrow, championship game. You know, I know you excited for him. He's excited. What do you say to him tonight before he go to bed? You know, because I'm pretty sure you and him will have that father-son talk and everything else. What's your words to him tonight before you go to bed?
Well, he called me about 15 minutes ago. He called me, and I saw the interview that you did with him. And it was kind of like last week, I think I tell you, when I talked to him Tuesday. And you know, and we spoke about the all-conference team, and he wasn't tripping, but I saw he was focused, and I knew he was ready. Then I called my brother, like, hey, it's on. When I saw the interview and he kept saying, we're going to win, and it wasn't, you know, I know you kept trying to shine the light on him, but he was like, no, we're going to win this game. My teammates. So he's got the right attitude. It's going to be a good game. I want to say something too. I heard you say something about Ryan Stubblefield. Yeah. Cameron and Ryan Stubblefield have been friends and teammates since 7-on-7 in middle school.
Okay.
I hope Ryan don't get in the game because he's going to run the ball. I know Ryan Stubblefield. If he comes in the game, I'm going to be – I know Ryan. So, yeah, I hope he don't get in the game. And I talked to his dad, Stubblefield Red, the other day, and it's going to be a good game. I'm excited to see it.
I can say this to you about your son, you know, being snubbed off of the all-conference team. Let me tell you something. It doesn't mean anything in the end. You know, that's only your name going up in the newspaper or something like that. You know, I was snubbed off of the Walter Payton Award list. Mind you, I had 56 touchdowns that year. You know, so, again, it doesn't matter. But what it does do is that hunger and motivation to prove to everyone, because I knew – I watched last week as when he came off and he kept saying, you know, y'all forgot about me, y'all, you know, and everything else. Keep that hunger, because that's the hunger that's going to separate and beat when that fourth down, the third down play, big play need to be made. He's going to be ready to prove to the world that, you know what I'm saying, he is who he is.
Yeah. Any questions? Appreciate. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Coach Fred, sir, I know you are heavily, whoever played Prairie View. It might be Podon High School. I know you're going to root for them. And you say, you know, you pulled up stats and all that. What did you see in the JSU game that you didn't see? If your eyes saw what we saw, what makes you think that they're gonna have trouble against SC State? And furthermore, do you know how many sacks PV has given up all year?
They've given up less than double digits.
How many times Cameron been sacked?
Since they've settled in on him. 4 times. I was gonna say 5.
And one was last week.
I was gonna say 5 times.
So who's the kid? Lutz, whoever.
Yeah. His percentage when we talking PFF, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's disruptive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, as you said, what did I see and what am I thinking? Is now we've got an opportunity to take away his safety blanket, right? That's the kid that's went for 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
The next closest receiver is under 500.
Okay.
Which means I ain't had to depend on a whole lot of people outside of that guy.
I'm glad you said, can I stop you right there? The number 1 receiver for South Carolina State, how many yards does he have?
He's right at 4, almost 5.
Rest my case.
No.
Take him away and then what?
As they say,
take him away and then what?
Not so fast, my friend.
Take him away and then what?
Because the next 3 dudes behind him, if I'm the receiver coach in that room, all right, he's at 500. The next guy's at 4. The next guy's at 4. The next guy. Now we've got a well-rounded room that I feel trusted that if Coach Cole take you away, I know I got 3 other guys that I can depend on in clutch to make a play.
Fred, I just want to ask you something.
As I was just talking to the coach from Kennesaw State, when we talk about receiver rooms, the consistency is not from one guy. It's not from one guy. The consistency is from everybody in that room. So when we take number 1 away, what does number 2, what does number 3, and what does number 4 do? And that's the deal. We led the nation in takeaways that year as well. I want to make sure I get that out there.
The thing I'm asking you is, those passes that Cam threw to Rockwell, what could a DB do to defend those passes?
So the one in particular on the sideline that he made a big play on, right? It's 50-50. But as I said in my DB room, as we always started every meeting with a French Montana song, don't panic. We just getting started. Don't panic. But if you go down there to press and you don't use hands, you standing next to me, because that puts us at a disadvantage. If you go back and you look, the Jackson kids went down and they never used hands, but they nose to nose. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting to it. They're nose to nose. They don't throw off any rhythm. That's a free release. Now I'm basically having to turn and run when he's already facing that direction. So now if I'm giving him that and I'm man to man, so coach knows this, there's a such thing as man turn, zone turn. Right. I'm in man, I'm going to man turn, which means I got to find the ball right now. I'm in his face, he goes here, I got to find the ball right now. I don't wait. Or if I'm starting to panic, I wait and wait on him to go, and then I'm up and through the hoop, right? That one on the sideline, I panic, I finally get back in position, but I'm not worried about the ball. I'm just trying to get him on the ground.
Yeah.
So if I'm coaching the corners in that situation, he's a jump ball guy, 50-50. We got to get chest to chest.
Hey, look here, break it
Go
down
from
to
there.
Langham terms. We got fans out.
Okay.
This turn, that turn. No, I'm
So,
just kidding. I'm with you,
I
coach.
gotta look him in the
you
eyes.
coaching, coach.
I got to look him in the eyes. I got to get chest to chest. They panic. They panic.
12 teams panic.
They panic.
12 teams panic.
I back you up to that one game. Y'all won 14-13. We didn't give up those.
12 teams panic.
We didn't give up
You
those.
say that was the MEAC though too? That the other team was doing that against?
MEAC gonna throw the ball.
Okay.
But again, PFF says he has the highest defense rate versus any corner receiver.
I tell you what, in
right?
24 hours, we're gonna definitely see
Don't
that
panic,
goal.
young man.
But I want to thank you for
You're a
coming
Nichols guy,
real
right?
quick. Man, get you down here. I think it's important you guys coming down here and you know, it's all swag. So I appreciate you coming and looking forward to seeing you out there and hollering, and looking forward to your son to have a good day. Because if he don't, I'm looking for you.
You look for me. I'm gonna be real about it.
No, he said you're coming.
Next, I want to bring on James Coach Williams
So look, nice to meet you too, man.
from Kennesaw. I know he didn't expect.
The legend.
Then we just
What's up, my guy?
well, look, what's going on, man? I would see real quick. You know, I gotta definitely show you love. Guy coach long time ago, defensive back coach at Alabama State, defensive back coach now at Kennesaw. It's always important that our HBCU guys, you are graduate from Texas Southern, that we recognize that you know, you're moving up. You know, Kennesaw is a Division I-A program. You came from running your own 707. It gives us opportunity to introduce the conference to you. And one other reason why we don't have to go get NFL players to come and coach our football teams.
No.
We got guys like you that's a career coach that comes through the system, and you know, you just as much as seeing great football as anybody else. You played on both sides of the ball as well as a running back in the secondary. Now you've came into a program, Alabama State, and helped him turn them around. You got several players that you actually coach yourself in the pros, and now you went to Kennesaw when they were 2-9 or 2-10 last year, and now y'all have won the championship there and going on to a bowl game. I want to welcome you, but then again, you know, how's everything going for you? This is your opportunity, you know, to, you know, just kind of tell some people who you are.
Well, first of all, God is good.
All the time.
Just been blessed to be in great positions around a lot of great people. Had a lot of great coaches in my life, including you. Got me right out of high school at 17. So go ahead and tell the people the truth. And it's not so much, something you said. I did play in the NFL, but I see what you're saying. We have to have people who want to be there, who love what we're trying to accomplish. And the biggest part is not just for an opportunity for themselves, but to grow the young men, to make them better men. The one thing I can say, I grew up and I would not exchange to go to LSU, nowhere, no school, for the man that I am now from going to Texas Southern University. And, you know, being in an environment with guy like Jerry Mack, who's just a great human being. I wanted to go somewhere where we could feed our young men in every aspect. And if it couldn't be that, I wouldn't want it.
Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations, Coach. You know, you're my guy, swag guy. You know, I used to make those trips down there to Alabama State to come see you and everything else. So I've watched, you know, we've had our conversations and things like that. So to watch you when I saw you at Kennesaw, man, I lit up when I came to the camp. When I saw you and everything else. So for me, every time I see a swag guy, you know what I'm saying, at a Division I school doing great things and everything else, for me is, you know, it gives somebody like me hope. You know, I'm going to say that. It gives somebody like me hope because, again, when you're an aspiring coach to want to coach college ball and everything else, and I see guys like you guys, it's like, man, you know, that can be me one day. So for somebody like me, what would be something you can say to me, you know, or some words you can say or things you can say to help me, you know what I'm saying, along the way?
Build relationships. You have to build relationships with different groups and facets of people, and your name has to get in different rooms.
Okay.
Most of all, for one, the man you are, the credibility you can bring, and just the knowledge of understanding players. Somebody could teach you X's and O's. They can't teach you how to get a guy to play great, to get the most out of him.
Yeah.
So just doing that and being in good circles of people and just growing yourself, not staying the same. Every time somebody see you, it's got to be something different about you. There's got to be something that you're giving that they say, man, it's on him. I can see it on him, so I know it's in him.
Mm-hmm.
You clean dressed because you used to watch me be clean dressed. No.
Tell the truth. Shame to
All of a sudden, and our head coach, your head coach, is a Jackson State man too.
Yeah.
He's a HBCU guy at Kennesaw, which is a P-Up. Yeah. He coached at North Carolina Central as well. So I want to thank you for coming out, man. And it's always important.
I want to give him the mic because if you can answer this, because I know you've been coaching. Have you been able to see any of these two teams play, or got anything, or can you give us a prediction?
I have not. That's an easy prediction.
Okay,
that's easy.
And what's that?
Swag.
Swag. Oh,
what are you talking about? I mean, because he's been counted out the whole way.
Right.
And he went to take Southern. Let's get that out the way.
Right.
So he got two things on his side.
My feelings are involved too.
My feelings involved. My feelings are involved. And it's just how it is. And when you have a tough team, see, now it's different now. You can have all that pretty passing you want. But boy, when you're tough, you play a tough brand of football, things change.
How about that?
Remember I said that.
We remember it, Coach. We appreciate it. Thank you, Coach. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Look, Coach Cole, we've got about 5 more minutes before we wrap this up. I'm going to let you guys give your final statements. Now, I know we've said picks, but I want to once again tell people that are watching, because I'm going to say this, because I think that wide receiver core, and I said that, and Mr. Peters was here, but what did I say? I said, if Cam Peters has an all-swag game, they'd win that game. I'm going to say this again. If he does that, they'll win this game. But I'm going to say the caveat. If Johnson, that receiver, gets 120 and 2 touchdowns, it's going to be something different. So those are the games, those are the players that I'm going to be looking forward to see which one of those guys. Those are my X Factor guys. So, Bruce, I'm going to turn it over to you. We've got 5 minutes left. Give us your final. Go ahead.
Any questions in the audience? We're good. Oh, go ahead. Okay.
Good afternoon or good evening. I just wanted to make a comment. We just thank you guys for this podcast. We're here to support the Celebration Bowl. We are SWAC, and we're learning a lot from this podcast. And we just want to say that we knew from day one, our coach Jackson had the eye on the prize to be at this game no matter what. This is where he wanted to be, and this is where he has us. We are disciplined, we are obedient, and we have grit. Go SWAC.
Okay.
And if you didn't know, that's a Prairie View person fan. That is oops. Let me go. Coach, come on in here because we're going to do our final. Get on in here and everything could close out. So, like I said, what we're going to do is just like your final keys of the game. And I'm going to say this too, Bruce, and you talked about it. What are those kids thinking right now? And what would you tell those kids also?
South Carolina State's thinking, don't mess up again. Like that's in the back of their heads. They've been here before. They came in riding high last year and they squandered the opportunity. So the kids who were here last year that's returning, in their minds, they're thinking, let's not mess it up again. On the flip side of it, for Prairie View, they're thinking, finish the job. Like she just said, grit. You know, I know that's one of their mottos, you know, and Jackson always has one, you know, but he's telling them, let's finish the job. Everybody counted us out. Nobody expects us to be here, but while we're here, let's do something about it. So those are the two things they're saying. My pick, I'm riding with Coach Jackson in Prairie View. Score prediction, I'm thinking if Cam Peters have a big day, if Peters have a big day, I'm thinking 27-10.
Woo! Boy, listen, let me tell you something. You know Chennis Berry is, because, you know, let's let people know. The coaches watch HBCU Coaches Corner. So if I'm Chennis Berry, I don't care if my guys, whatever they're doing, I'm putting that on a loop. Coach, tell us what you got.
Let me get in my Johnnie Cole mode right there. All right. And as Coach just said, you know, I think Floyd Mayweather said it best. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, right? And when you're talking about the numbers, South Carolina State has been here more times, all right? When you're talking about the championship conference-wise, South Carolina State has more, right? When you're talking about a player stat-wise, South Carolina State right now is winning those numbers by what we all go by right now, PFF, right? And not to mention, South Carolina State has two Florida boys, two 8'6" boys, all right, in positions. And I know those guys, and I've grown those guys up. I coached them in high school. I'm dating myself, but I coached at DC. I coached the corners coach in high school. I know their passion. I know how much they put into this, right, and wanting to be good. They didn't feel good about what happened to them last year, right? So I know that extra week that Coach Eugene interjected into this whole podcast as being an advantage, I know they took advantage of it, right? So I'm going to go with my original pick, and I know my guy, my OG, is not going to go with me. I'm trying to get him. I've given him enough numbers to bring him to my side, but he still won't do it. But I'm going with South Carolina State, and I'm talking something around, and I'm a swag guy, but I'm also a Florida boy, and those guys are Florida guys. But I'm going to go with South Carolina State, the experience, and we're talking like 27-13 type deal.
You know, I want to get the opportunity to pick, because I think Coach Fred brings up something that I think is very important, that South Carolina is a winning tradition. They come in these kind of games expected to win and expected to perform to a championship standard, right? But we all know in championship games, the key to winning is overcoming adversity in championship game. And this is what I'll say about those young men that wear purple and gold. Those young men chose adversity when they chose PV. They chose to take the road less traveled. They chose to climb up the hill. They saw the mountain, and they were at the foot of it, and they chose to climb it. And I just can't see a day when a man starts at the foot of the mountain, gets all the way to the top, and decides to let the rope go. I just can't see him letting the rope go. I believe they're going to get to the top of the mountain, Coach. And again, it's a great South Carolina State team, right? But I just think the men in that locker room of PV is not going to let the rope go, and they're going to do what they came here to do at PV. I scored 20. My heart says 28-14. PV. My mind tells me it's going to be more 24-20.
All right, Coach, this is on you. And like I say, we got to close it out. So I'm going to tell you what, give your prediction, and go ahead and take us on out, Coach.
Man, I mean, you're right about that. I'm a numbers guy and I'm an analyst guy, and when I look at teams, I not only look at the numbers, I look at how they're being coached, which both teams are coached very well. I look at the quarterback position. I think that the edge goes to Prairie View because Cam Peters can throw the football as well as run the football. You got to go tailback because Bingham, he's rushed the ball very well all season. I think talking with the offensive coordinator, he missed a lot of good runs last week that I think he'll get this week. I believe, even though I'm an offensive guy, and you guys that follow my career know that offensively I've been very good, but I know one thing about winning championships, you got to play great defense. And I think only giving up 12, 16 points a game all year. I think that, and I believe what Rocky said about adversity. They had adversity in Texas Southern game. Not only did they score one time, they scored two. With 16 seconds, they came back. Then Alcorn against your team, you guys had them at the rope. They didn't panic. They everybody didn't give them a chance against Jackson State. And I kept telling people that this team is ready. And at the end of the season, they peaked at the right time. They averaged over 42 points a game in the last 4 games. And they dominated teams, as well as I felt when they played against Jackson State that if they would have scored in that red zone, that game would have been over real early. They did. I know Coach Jackson. I know what he's about. I know Chennis very well. I mean, we sat in the room together, and I know Chennis just as good, but those two ain't going to play on the football field. I think it's about the Jimmys and Joes, not the X's and O's. And I just see Prairie View coming. I don't think this game gonna be close. I think Prairie View is gonna win this game running away. I think I see it. I think it's time for Prairie View, his staff make great halftime adjustments. I've seen South Carolina State play close against Delaware as well as North Carolina Central. I just think it's Prairie View's time.
Coach, what's your score prediction?
I 35-14.
So there you have it. Yeah. HBCU Coaches Corner live. Thank you to the Embassy Suites.
I got one more for you.
Thank you. Wait, we got one more?
I got one more for you.
What's that?
Who's going to give the better pregame speech? Is it going to be Chennis Berry or is it going to be Coach Jackson?
I'm with you.
Who's going to give the better pregame speech?
Gotta go work.
Got to deliver the mail. We here to play. We here to play, man. We here to play. We don't care about none of that God, dog,
win
and
today.
Else.
Got to win today.
We're here to play.
Got to win today.
Came all the way down here to win. So that's it. So, Coach, listen. We did it live here. Thanks to the Embassy Suites once again. So I'm telling you, if you're in Atlanta, this is where you come. Again, HBCU alums taking care of you. Now, Coach, go ahead and take us out.
Man, I tell you what, the world is getting a little tougher now. And as I always say, man, if you feel yourself at the end of the rope, you tie a knot and hold on tight. And that's what you're going to have to ask South Carolina State tomorrow night. You better hold on tight because ain't nobody bad like them PV Panthers.
Now, see, there you go.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.